I'm just going to go over the upgrades that I've done to my Tamiya Subaru Brat. One thing I want to point out is around these holes that you have to cut and here, I would just take a little drop of CA glue and just let it spread around that hole. Thin CA glue is what I use on the inside too. Maybe only the inside would look nicer because you can't really see that. And that will really just help to strengthen and stop the body holes from cracking. Mine cracked here, you may be able to see. But the CA glue fixed that, and that should help it. Now, looking under the body, we have the chassis. And probably the first thing you're going to notice is the front shocks. It doesn't come with front dampers. It just comes with springs kind of embedded in the chassis itself. You can't see them. So what I did was I took those out and I took the rear dampers and I took some softer springs. These are stock springs from a Losi Mini T. I put those there. They fit pretty nice and they're not too soft because they're kind of long and they already have a lot of preload in them. There's some really nice dampening action going on in the front. Before it was just really springy and bouncy, and now it's really dampened. And this shock tower is just from an Exceed RC Nitro short course truck, and these parts over here also from the short course truck. I'm not really sure where they're from, but they were in my parts box, so I just kind of bolted them on to give a little extra extension for the shocks. And then I have these spacers. These are, I think, turnbuckles, and because of the reverse threading on one side, I had to use this plastic bit because it was threaded the other way, and normal bolts like this wouldn't fit on it. For the front bumper, I have the stock front bumper, but I just chopped off the part that comes in front of the body because I really didn't like the look of that. You can see that it cracked here, and that's only because I had a hard impact with a curb when I didn't have this bumper on. So I just put it on and chopped off the front, and now it's just under the body, you can see. You can see it's just kind of sitting under the body. It's visible, but it's not too visible, and it gives enough protection. I put stronger steering linkages on there. You can see these are just, not really sure where these are from, but I put them on, and you can see how I did it there with the servo. I don't have a servo saver on right now, but that should be coming soon. I don't really think it's necessary for these small wheels and for this really powerful servo that I have in there. This is a nice and cheap EXI servo. It's $14, but it's really fast, and it's really strong. 60 kilograms, it says in the place where I bought it from hobbypartswithaz.com. I have these springs on the back because I took the stock ones and put them on the front, and these are also from a Nitro Exceed short course truck, and they just really help to make the back softer. And although the front ones with the Losi Mini T springs worked on the back to make it softer, these will make it even softer, and if you don't like it that soft, you can always adjust them with the threaded shock body, full aluminum, and these are oil filled, so you have some nice dampening action going on. What I did was I locked the rear diff, and honestly, with it unlocked, it's almost as if it's one-wheel drive. The diff has no resistance. You'll get stuck everywhere you go. The performance has improved so much just by locking the diff. I soaked the diff in soapy water and then wiped it off to get the oil off, the oil and grease, and then I just hot glued it with really hot glue. You really got to let your glue gun warm up, and that will increase the bond. And it's strong. Haven't had any problems with it so far. So I really recommend doing that, and again, with such a powerful servo in the front, your steering isn't really going to be affected that much. I even have to turn the dual rate down a little bit on this servo from having it overextend. I broke in the motor using the water break-in method. It's the first time I've ever done it. I'm not sure how it's going to hold up, but I ran it through an entire pack, and the water was black after that happened. So I think there was a lot of gunk that came out of the motor. I completely waterproofed it. I have this little waterproof Tupperware here that has the Plastidip around the exit ports for the wires. And that's really going to, I mean, it's really nice to have it waterproof because you can just go anywhere, and then like on the beach or near a lake or wherever you want to go, and you don't have to worry about your electronics. So I have everything in this little Tupperware, and you can always remove it. You can always open up the Tupperware from underneath. You can see there. The ESC is in there. I have the stock ESC, but it's in there, so it should be fine against water. You might be asking what this is. This is a waterproofed, again, LiPo alarm. Now that's because I've upgraded to LiPo, because I really think that it gives me more punch and longer runtime. And honestly, these days LiPos are cheaper than nickel metal hydrate batteries, because if you go to hobbyparts.com, this LiPo is, I think, $8 or so. Really cheap. These are 1300 milliamp hours. These are like $5. I would highly recommend going to LiPo because you get longer runtime, more punch, but the top speed isn't really affected, so there isn't much more strain on your gearbox and your drivetrain. These LiPos are waterproof as well, Plastidip at the ends. This one is completely Plastidip because it was a LiPo without this branded name, but that should do fine. And I've upgraded to Deans because it's much more common these days, cheaper than Tamiya plugs, and they give you better flow through them. Finally, like everyone should do with all their Tamiya cars, is upgrade to ball bearings. It will increase your speed, decrease your wear. It's just better for everything. It's like a $12 upgrade. I noticed in this truck it actually came with ball bearings, so if you go to Tower Hobbies and get the ball bearings that it recommends, you don't use all of them, you only use about half of them. So I would just recommend you buy just the more expensive set of ball bearings. It asks you to buy 2 ball bearing sets. One of them only has 2 ball bearings in it, the other one has 8 or 10 or something. Get the one with 8 or 10 and you'll have a few left over. You don't need to get the one with 2 of them. It's just that's for if you're upgrading a truck that doesn't have any ball bearings in it at all. But the kit comes with ball bearings for the gearbox, just not for the wheels. Stay tuned, and running videos will come soon.